So what do you got going up on the screen here, ladies and gentlemen? I'm just going to read some stuff here. These are some episodes that are very disturbing. If you haven't watched them, if you haven't followed me, I'll have the links, like I said, in the description section of this video. But episode 54, these are all exclusive stories through my investigation that I published, and this is my forum for publishing my investigative journalism investigations. I don't have a website. I don't write for a newspaper. This is where my stuff is published in digital media. Okay? So episode 54, and you'll see the screenshots of these different episodes going up near the corner. Episode 54, I published on June 10th, 2021. And it was titled, Vegas Police Cover-Up Uncovered. Negligence led to kidnapping and rape of 12-year-old girl. A very disgusting story. 12-year-old girl got raped in 2019 because in 2018, some sexual assault detectives failed to do their jobs correctly, and the supervisor, and the guy was out for a year. A following year, he raped a girl in 2018, a little girl, 11-year-old. The following year, another girl got raped, 12 years old. And this guy's coming up for trial, I believe, in June or July. It's a freaking disgrace. This was a major cover-up by Sheriff Joe Lombardo, who's now running for governor of Nevada. And everybody knows what I think of him. He's an incompetent, documented liar, and he's corrupt. He's covered things up, kept them from the press, kept them from the public, time and time again. That was episode 54. It was part 1. In episode 56, I published on June 25th, 2021, and that was titled, Sheriff Lombardo's Cover-Up of Police Incompetence That Led to Kidnapping and Rape of Child, Part 2. Then I did episode 82, January 13th, 2022, this year, and that was titled, Lombardo-Directed Cover-Up Botched Investigation Led to Kidnapping, Rape of Child, Part 3. These are very disturbing podcasts, and everybody that read these from across the country, attorneys, some of them are interested in this case, retired law enforcement officers, and just regular people who said, why is it that this has not ever been reported by the local media out in Las Vegas? Why don't they follow up on this stuff and try to get answers from the police department? Because you remember me saying many times in this podcast that the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department's Public Information Office, the PIO office, where journalists call to get comments and questions, I don't even bother them anymore, because Sheriff Lombardo, I was told by a police source last year, has told them not to acknowledge me. So when I send requests in, I just get nothing back. So that's why when I do these podcasts, I don't say, I ask for a comment, because I don't do it anymore, because they are very unprofessional, because their boss, Sheriff Joe Lombardo, is pissed off because I keep breaking these stories that police officers are leaking to me. Stories that he wanted never to see the light in the public domain. So, too bad, Joe Lombardo. That's just the way it goes, and it's going to get worse in the next couple of months. I got a lot of stuff I haven't reported on. I've been backed up on a lot of stuff. So anyway, that was episode 82. That was part 3. And I'll have the links, like I said, so it'll be easy to follow. Just go to the description section, hit on the link. We're on 113th episode with this one right now with my podcast. So everybody's bewildered, like, why is nothing going on out there with anything that you've been doing for years? It's just like they just ignore you. I said, yeah, but I don't care. I still do what I got to do, and I still get it out there. Because the job of a journalist is to get the information out to the community and let the community make the decision, especially when these stories are involving public officials, police officers, sheriffs, district attorneys. The public has a right to know what's being concealed, because we're paying for our police officers. We're paying for our assistant district attorneys. We vote the district attorney in. We vote the sheriffs in. So the public has a right to know when these guys cover these things up, and the public never finds out about it unless you keep digging and get it out. So I get it out in this forum here. Here's another interesting one. This was just a month ago. It was episode 96, ladies and gentlemen, published on March 2nd, 2022. The title, Exposed, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department Negligence, a Factor in Kidnapping Rape of Boy, listen to this, by sex offender on house arrest. And you could read that story. I don't want to give it away, but there was a convicted sex offender on house arrest wearing an ankle monitor, and the police personnel who was supposed to monitor, because you have certain boundaries, certain limits where you can go. You can't go out certain areas. Well, they were, for lack of a better word, sleeping on the job, and this guy violated his limits where he's supposed to move, and in doing so, one day, he, a little 14-year-old kid was going to school, a boy, and he kidnapped him and raped him because of police negligence. And I know for a fact that there are attorneys outside of Nevada that are looking at these things, because I've got some contact information from them and said, we're interested in this, and sent us the links and stuff, because this is a freaking disgrace. All this stuff, and there's more, ladies and gentlemen. These are just a fraction of the stories that I broke. There's more stories out there. The cover-up of the falsification of police reports for violent crimes, sexual assault, which is rape, sexual assault, robbery, and they're ordered to downgrade the classification of those crimes, so the crime statistics go down when they're actually not down, and cops are ordered to falsify the reports, and this came from Sheriff Joe Lombardo and his former undersheriff when he was there, Kevin McMahill, who's now running for sheriff because Lombardo is running for governor. So this stuff has been going on for years. And all this information, ladies and gentlemen, matter of fact, I have an updated one coming out on the falsification of the police reports, because I got information just some time ago, in the past couple of weeks, from a high-ranking police official who told me some more stuff that's going to knock your socks off related to this. So these are all the things that go on out here. But for some reason, the local Las Vegas media, either they don't have the police contacts or they have them. I know for a fact that police officers over the years have told me that they have actually called up certain journalists, both in print and in the television stations out here, and gave them some serious stuff. And you know what happened? Nada. Nothing's ever been reported. So they give me this information, I vet it, and I get it out on my podcast. This is what I do. I'm on retirement. I live on Social Security, and if the Vegas media was doing all this, I wouldn't do it, okay? Because I don't make money from doing these things. I don't get paid. It doesn't, I don't exist financially because of this podcast. I have a PayPal account. I might as well say it now. I say that at the end. PayPal.me/Doug Poppa. And sometimes people put money in it, but I don't do this for money. I don't make a substantial amount. Every now and then somebody puts some bucks in there, but it is what it is, because if these journalists out here were digging and would make these police contacts, and their editors will allow them to do the stories, because I heard that's another issue from some reporters that used to work out here, both in television and the print, that they've actually told me that they're told not to do stories that's going to make the police department look bad and or the casinos unless they have to. And that's what I was told over the years, so you could take that for what it's worth. So anyway, that was the episode 96, and 14-year-old boy got raped and kidnapped on the way to school because apparently some police officers were supposed to be monitoring these computerized ankle monitors when they go off. Didn't see for like several weeks, from my understanding, that this guy was just all over the place and he wasn't supposed to be there. And that's one day he took advantage of the kid going to school, and we have a 14-year-old boy who got raped. Just like in 2019, we had the 12-year-old girl got raped because of the incompetence and negligence of the sexual assault detectives who were investigating it. And Lombardo and McMahill were involved in that cover-up, including, and you'll read the podcast, you'll see the podcast, assistant sheriffs, deputy chiefs, captains, lieutenants, all the way down the line. I was told they were all involved in that cover-up. And Lombardo was really, really pissed off when I broke these stories, because he never wanted to get out. I mean, that's what my sources were telling me. So, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen.